southwest of the Woodward area. It's going to be in this area. It's now moved to the southeast. The tornado is no longer on the ground, okay? It's no longer a tornado, but we understand the National Weather Service is going to be issuing a tornado warning for areas. Okay, Rusty McCraney said they just got a tornado warning that is now in effect for the Woodward area. Now, it's going to mainly be, the bulk of this is going to be from just southern sides of Woodward and areas south. The worst of the storm and the circulation is most likely going to be just to the southeast of Woodward. We do know that the emergency manager in Woodward reported softball-sized hail in Woodward, with windows being broken out, as you might imagine. And Rusty, this storm, there's the tornado warning. It's this red area. Let's put a storm track on that. The circulation is going to be just to the south and southeast of Woodward proper. So if you live out in a rural area south and southeast of Woodward, this storm is headed in your direction with a circulation, potential tornado, as well as the threat for some very large hail. This storm has had a history of producing some very, very large hail. So this will take it into Sharon at 5:53, so it's 5:27 right now. So folks in Sharon and eventually down the road, Mutual and Visay, you're going to want to make sure and take shelter as this storm approaches your area. Rusty, do you have the information on that tornado warning? Go ahead.
Do, Rick. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Woodward, moving south at 25. And again, our Fast Unit 70, Chance Cold Iron, reported a brief touchdown of a tornado on the south side of Woodward. It was coming out of a rain-wrapped curtain, a brief touchdown. But again, the Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for the southern sides of Woodward County until 6 p.m. This will be from Woodward to the south. The movement of the storm right now south at 25.
All right, we do have a live picture from Chance Cold Iron, Fast 70. Let's go ahead and take his shot. That's him right here. This is the rain shaft. Now, what he reported about 2 or 3 minutes ago was a very brief tornado touchdown. The tornado quickly dissipated, and we have no confirmed tornado at this very moment. However, we do have circulation associated with this storm. There is very ripe conditions for severe thunderstorms, and we're seeing that played out across northwestern Oklahoma. So in addition to this tornado warning, and again, what is that, how long does that go, Rusty?
6 o'clock.
Okay, till 6 o'clock, so basically the next 32 minutes. In addition to that tornado warning, there's also a tornado watch that covers this area as conditions are favorable. That goes until 9 o'clock tonight. But what you're looking at on this picture is a very intense rain shaft. That is not a tornado. That is a rain shaft, but you also have what we call a rain-free base on the left-hand side of your picture, and that's where the air is rushing into the storm. And the rain shaft is where the rain is coming out of the storm. But at this very moment, Chance Cold Iron reporting no tornado. There was a brief touchdown earlier, but a warning nonetheless, as we have a circulation associated with that particular thunderstorm cell. Let's go back over to Advantage Doppler HD. Advantage Doppler HD, as Rusty has tracked this out. The storm itself has moved through Woodward. If anything, it may have weakened it just a touch. But that could be just the fact that it dropped a whole lot of hail and then has maybe in the point of rebuilding and regenerating. But the bottom line is those of you across southern sides of Woodward County need to be taking shelter as this storm approaches your area for 2 reasons. One, the fact that it does have a circulation associated with it and it has produced a brief tornado. And 2, the very large hail that's associated with it. Here is Sharon right here. That storm's going to be moving into Sharon at 5:44, Mutual at 6:01. Here is Mutual, and then into the Visay area at about 6:05, Sestos at 6:19. Rusty, let's just kind of swing this around, take a look farther to the north and northeast as well. Here you can see that our level mapping, our street level mapping, can clearly pick out the streets in the Woodward area. The circulation itself now appears to be a little farther to the southeast and moving away from Woodward at this time, but the damage has already been done in terms of the large hail. Also near Moreland, a very intense cell just southwest of Moreland. As you look farther to the north, there are other thunderstorms that are congealing. They are intensifying and moving across portions of Harper County, northern Woodward County, on into northern Woods counties, from just south of Freedom and Alabaster Caverns, all the way over through Fort Supply and even parts of the far eastern Oklahoma Panhandle. So these thunderstorms moving to the southeast. Chris Lee is in this mix as well, Fast Unit 2. And Chris, you've seen these thunderstorms. They have been prolific hail producers. What are you seeing on your end?
That's right. I just heard reports, as you said, in Woodward. They're checking out some windows broken on houses, baseball hail. They've got a correctional facility on lockdown. They're kind of battening down the hatches, as you might imagine, in this area. We are all more towards Moreland, as the storm was looked to be heading down Northwest Highway, Northwest Passage, but it is now turned more to the south and heading more south from Woodward. Like you said, the good news, this area of circulation that we're watching and not seeing a tornado right now is moving south of Woodward, and it's moving south a little east, but it almost appears to be moving due south now from Woodward, and that's good news for Woodward. It's mostly in a rural area. Well, it won't affect nearly as many people. As you said, large hail. Heard reports of up to baseball size hail, and there's been quite a bit of hail with different parts of different storms up here. We saw hail or golf ball size hail up in the Freedom-Selman area earlier on today. Rick?
All right, Chris, we continue to monitor all of the crews that we have tracking these storms in northwestern Oklahoma. As Chris said, the worst of this has now moved south of Woodward. We still have intense thunderstorms just to the southwest of Moreland. Our circulation is southeast of the Woodward area and continuing to drop to the south and southeast. And again, these thunderstorms have had a history of producing some very large hail. Chance Cold Iron is also still in the area that produced the original brief tornado, which was southwest of Woodward, which is now probably just due south of the Woodward area. He's been monitoring this. We're going to have him join us here in just a second. Can we take his picture? Is that up on Weather 6? Is that correct? Let's, okay, this is Fast Unit 70 in northwest Oklahoma. Instead of these thunderstorms, as the line continues to push to the south, intense thunderstorms are still moving through. Let's go back over. Are you ready for Advantage Doppler 3D? Let's go Advantage Doppler 3D, guys. We want to look at this. We're going to put this into the three-dimensional mode. Look how this storm over the Woodward, or just south of the Woodward area, is towering. That shows that is the height of a thunderstorm typically is proportional to just how strong it can be. Some of these storms can go up 40, 50, 60, even 70,000 feet. That's quite high considering if you get on a flight and go to Denver, you're flying at about 30,000 feet. So an intense thunderstorm is now south of Woodward, so that's headed toward the Sharon and Mutual areas. The white lightning strikes represent a fair amount of lightning. Some of this, what I find interesting, and we're seeing the circulation, when you see this arrow spinning like that, that is our radar telling us, hey, we've got air that's moving and spinning in a spinning fashion. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's a tornado, but that does get our attention so that we can see. This is what we call early warning. The radar does a quick scan to give us a better view, an earlier view of the storm. And we've got another one here, red circulation, representing perhaps a more well-defined area of circulation. So that's this in the three-dimensional mode. Again, we're looking at this storm from just south of Woodward over through Moreland. There you see the movement on it. Circulation now is going to be south of 412 and headed to the southeast. Those of you in the path of this storm, it's proven to us that it's going to be a big old hail producer. And you've got to make sure you've got yourself on the inside. If you can, get your cars on the inside. Don't do anything crazy like go and park under a bridge. That's just crazy. But if you want to find yourself a car wash or something like that, we've had reports, confirmed reports from the National Weather Service of softball to grapefruit size hail occurring with this storm in and around the Woodward area. Chad Bradley, what are we doing? Chad Bradley. Okay, Chad, you are up there, Fast Unit 51. Chad, what are you seeing on your end?
Rick, we are actually south of Woodward on 270 right now, trying to reposition. We've got a lot of free-base hail. Maybe the largest we've seen so far is golf ball, quarter to golf ball hail. Earlier, Rick, probably 15 to 20 minutes ago, as the storm was rolling through Woodward, we had a report from a Chinese store, a Chinese restaurant in Woodward, fire department and ambulance was dispatched to that area to treat a 19-year-old who had, I guess, was in the restaurant or in the store. Softball-sized hail had hit the glass and shattered, and it was embedded in her face. So, yeah, there have been some injuries just due to the hail, not tornadic, but just due to the hail. A short time after that, Rick, we did have a brief it probably didn't last more than 15 seconds. I haven't seen anything since then. It gets to reposition herself to stay out of this floor so that we can have a good visual on the storm.
All right. We appreciate that, Chad. Get out of the path of that as best that you can. But as you heard, he did report that some of the very large hail, has been causing some problems, as you might imagine. Broken windows. I'm sure there's a lot of car windshields that are out around the Woodward area, perhaps in Woodward proper. Again, what Advantage Doppler 3D is showing us here, this icon represents where the circulation is. Now, we are well to the south of Woodward at this point. This storm not only does it have the circulation, but it also has that hail threat. Main circulation looks to be just to the east of State Highway 34. And as you can see, the radar pops on different circulations. As the radar looks at the different levels of the atmosphere, it determines, okay, we've got some circulation here, we've got some here, we've got some here. And sometimes it'll just give us like kind of an early warning. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's a developing tornado. It just means that it is noticing some swirling that's taking place, so some rotation within this thunderstorm cell. If you live in Sharon, there's a chance this storm may just slide a little bit to your east, but I wouldn't count on it completely. I'd go ahead and take the time right now to make sure as this storm approaches your area, you know where to go if you have to seek shelter. Mutual, definitely, as the storm slides southeast, does look like it's going to pass through your area. Seems to be tracking very close to 183. It's crossing 183 right now. What I anticipate happening is it's going to dive a little more to the south as opposed to southeast. It's going to go a little more southeast. We have Chance Coldiron, Fast Unit 70, joining us on the phone right now. Is that correct, Chad? Chance, what are you seeing? Go ahead.
Yeah, Rick, I got a tornado, looks like multiple vortex spinning on the ground. The condensation's not come all the way to the ground. There it is on the ground. It's going to be in between these two power poles. I'm 5 miles south of Woodward, just a mile to the west of 183.
It's going to be in between these power poles. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And give us your location again one more time, Chance.
I'm going to be 5 south of Woodward and 1 mile west of 183. And I got to Justin, get this camera over there. It's trying to come down again. Condensation's almost to the ground, Rick.
Okay, we may be locked up with you. You may have to restart your stream, but you stay with us. We're going to keep talking here. But this is the same storm, Chance, that produced the brief tornado earlier. Is that correct?
Yes, and then I just had a softball-sized hail land in the back of my truck. They're falling around here. Yes, I had a brief tornado earlier, and then a small funnel try to make contact with the ground, but wrapping up on the backside of this rain curtain, it's falling out to the south of this storm.
Okay. Chance, keep following that. We're going to try to reestablish our stream. What I want to do is send word out to Sharon. It does appear that this storm is moving in enough of a southern fashion that you need to be taking shelter instead of a southeast fashion. It does appear the storm has turned right a little bit more and will be affecting your area. So if you live in Sharon or the rural areas around Sharon, make sure you're in your shelters as this storm approaches. If you live in a mobile home, as the storm comes to your area, you need to make sure you're out of that mobile home. Okay, find a sturdier shelter to get into. This is the storm track on that. It's moving to the south at around 30 miles per hour, about 25 miles per hour. So Sharon, you've got about 10 minutes. It's 5:40 right now. We've got it tracking into Sharon at 5:50, 6:08 in Mutual, 6:14 in Visay, and 6:28 in Sestos. So this is a storm that has had a history of producing so far very large hail and brief tornadoes. And Chance Coldiron continues to watch as this storm, the last time we were speaking with him just minutes ago, he was reporting that a tornado had occurred. We're getting back in touch with him. We'll see. But it's going to be this area right here. You see that notch, kind of that hook that is in there. Very large hail. That is going to be that very large area of hail is going to be in this area that is just to the northeast of the Sharon area. So this is our circulation where the reds and the greens are coming together. That's what's headed for the folks in Sharon, and that's why you need to be in your shelters. Always remember these two rules. Always remember these two rules. Get as low as you can and put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Doesn't matter where you are, remember those two rules. If you live by those two rules, you will do just fine when it comes to tornado safety. So again, the storm track is going to take it as it moves through Woodward County and then eventually perhaps on into Dewey County, but it is moving south of Woodward right now. The largest hail core is going to be just to the south of Moreland. If we're still experiencing the very large baseball or perhaps even softball size hail, that's going to be coming out of this core right here that is east of the circulation, and it is just to the south of Moreland and moving to the southeast. So from Sharon over through Mutual, it's a kind of a double whammy. It's a double barrel shot that we have going on here. Circulation as well as very, very large hail.